Hello everybody, I'm in the Makers Lab and I'm going to be doing an overview of my new PC that I just built this previous weekend. For the motherboard I went with MSI's A88XIAC motherboard, which is FM2 and FM2 Plus chipsets by AMD. That's what it holds. For the hard drive I went with Western Digital's 1TB hard drive, which 1TB is 1000 gigabytes of storage. Just the standard blue edition for everyday use. For the power supply, I went with Corsair's CX 430 watt modular power supply. The M stands for modular. It is also ATX. For the case, I went with Cooler Masters Elite 110, which is a mini ITX case form factor. Which is pretty standard, pretty nice. I like it. It has decent airflow. It's very portable. You know, it has this cube look to it. It's not very long, not very tall, versus your standard size ATX case that you usually see in desktop PCs. It has really decent airflow. It has a 140mm front fan intake to draw air in and out the back. It has ventilation on the top here where the power supply goes, which the power supply draws in air and also blows it out the back of it. It has two ventilations on the side, which I can also install an optional smaller fan to get better airflow and cool down my components in the inside. And for the star of this show is this right here. AMD's A10 7850K accelerated processing chip, or APU for short. And what that is AMD has took a discrete CPU and GPU and merged them into one chip. This is also quad core, by the way, running at about, I say, 4.7 gigahertz, which, don't quote me on that, that may be wrong. Actually, I am wrong. It is 4.0 gigahertz and max turbo 4 megabyte cache, which is pretty nice for such a budget chip. And now we're going to boot it up, and you can see the boot speeds here. You see, now it's powering on. This case also has a nice blue LED indicator to let you know that the power is running. As you can see here, it's booting up now. Already at Windows 8, and it's booted. Just like that. That took no more than, what, 5 to 10 seconds in between. Now we're going to adjust the camera so you can see the monitor better. This is my home screen, and I'm just going to type in my password here. And the operating system that I'm running is Windows 8.1, by the way, which is Windows' latest operating system right now, 64-bit, not 32. Here's my desktop. What I notice is that everything flows together really smoothly. I'm getting no lag at all whatsoever. Processing and processes that run in the beginning of Windows load up almost instantaneously. If we can let it boot up here, still should be done. We can go into Task Manager here. You can see this. Once the computer finishes booting up, and I can let you see here our uses right now. Performance-wise, we are using almost little to no resources right now to run everything. Everything is running cool, really cool right now. Performance-wise, we have really nothing running in the background. As you can see here, our CPU, our AMD A10 7850K, and the graphics inside of this CPU, by the way, is running AMD's Radeon R7 GPU inside of here, which is pretty powerful. Right now, we're running at around 3.88 gigahertz, which is pretty okay. Our memory, we have 8 gigs of RAM. I forgot to go over that. We have 8 gigs of Kingston's HyperX Fury RAM, and it is automatically overclocked to 1600 megahertz, which is pretty good right there in itself. Another thing I forgot to mention about the motherboard is that it came with built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capability, so I didn't have to buy an optional you know, the little Bluetooth, no, not Bluetooth, the little USB that you plug inside your PC, USB port to get your Wi-Fi, and you gotta plug in the disk and do all that installing to get your internet to work. Well, the motherboard already had that built in, so all I had to do was hook up the motherboard, boot up the PC, and find my wireless network, and I already had Wi-Fi, just like that. Also supports Bluetooth too, so if I had a wireless keyboard or sound system other than these speakers, I can do that wirelessly too. So now we're going to do a little demo here, and I'm going to boot up Minecraft, which I'm sure mostly all of you know. Just turn down the sound here. Alright. This is running Minecraft's latest update 1.8. As you can also see, once again, that it loads up pretty darn fast. Just like that, there we are. And now we're just going to do just a basic test. We're going to delete this world. I haven't really played this. Create a new world, just new world, hardcore, creative. And I'm going to show you how fast it renders. How fast it renders the environment around my player here, Steve, whatever his name is. So it's building terrain right now, getting the road all set, and once it builds up, I'm going to be able to show you how fast it handles everything. There we go, we're in the world, and now it's just finding everything, setting me up, and there we go, we're all set. As you can see, everything is very fluent. No lag whatsoever. Really fluent, and if I was to back out here and open up Fraps here, what Fraps is, it will allow you to see the FPS or frames per second that I am getting in this game. Right here in your top right hand corner, you can see that I'm running right now at around 70, 80, 90, about 90 frames per second. For this APU that I'm running, now I'm in the hundreds. It's really remarkable, but maybe if I start moving around, it may go down just a little bit, but no, around roughly 30 and up, which is really remarkable for this chip that doesn't have a discrete graphics card. As you can see here, the world is fully loaded. No lag whatsoever. Now on my old previous laptop that I had, if I was to drop this in options here and I was to take the frame rate, I can kind of mimic on what I was getting on my last laptop, and you can see the difference in the frames and see how it's kind of choppy and slow, and if you was to play it like this, kind of give you a headache type of thing. So I just manually set my FPS down to make it kind of worse, to try to imitate my laptop before, so you can see the upgrade that I made. Now I don't know how well this will pick it up on the camera, but being in person is an extreme difference. This is how it was running on my previous computer, which, as you can see, is pretty choppy. It's not very fast and fluent. Everything, the frames is just horrible. It's running at a solid 10 frames a second right now, which is not very pleasant. As you can see when I jump, it's just not smooth at all. But if I go into my settings now and put it at the right FPS for this PC, just unlimited, now you can really see the difference on how smooth it is. It doesn't really give you that headache type of feeling. It's everything is so fluent. So that was just a quick demonstration of everything. I can do a quick TNT test because I'm sure for those of you who play Minecraft that when you have TNT and it explodes, it kind of lags the computer and drop your frames. If I can find it here. We need flint and steel. So I'm just going to put a pile of TNT right here so you can see just how it performs when exploding this TNT. So this is a decent amount. It should leave a nice size hole. And now we're just going to go from a nice distance here. And you can see that there was hardly no lag at that at all. Just like that. Once again, just place one here. Let it go. No lag whatsoever. That is the type of performance that I'm getting out of this APU, which I am pretty amazed about for it to have no discrete graphics card, which is really, really nice. I'm still running at about 90 frames a second, which is really good for this. Most modern computers can't really run around 90 frames per second, even with a discrete GPU. Now I'm in the hundreds. So that is pretty remarkable there in itself. So that was just a quick little demo there of the speed of this PC here. I hope you enjoyed my computer build, and maybe I'll explain more in a later video. See you.